What's going on, everybody? Payneblade back here again. Welcome back to the NxB episode 4 of the podcast. I'm here with my hosts.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey guys.
And guys, Noorret, Classy, let's just get right into it with the current banner. What are your thoughts? We went from Six Tails, we went from Minato to this insanity. What do you guys think? Worth it? Not worth it? I mean, I've already given my opinion on it, so I want to hear yours.
I've been saying it everywhere. Doo-doo. Doo-doo skip.
Doo-doo skip. They should have been D units, huh? Both of them?
Well, no, I think Mitsuki should have been an A unit. He would have been incredible as an A unit, but they gave him the old Minato special.
Yeah, no, I meant doo-doo as in like D units as in doo-doo units. I think I write that somewhere in a comment.
They're double D unit.
Double D units. That's it. Doo-doo.
Yeah.
That's it.
I just feel bad, man, for Orochimaru and his family. they're always getting shafted.
COVID is not so... See, that's the thing. I got COVID, and I used him for a while. He's really good at debuffing. He's just...
Damn.
He hits like a wet sponge.
I got scared. I was like, what?
No.
You got COVID?
COVID Maru, because he came out during the pandemic. That people called him COVID Maru.
Yeah.
Because he looks sick. He looks sick.
Yeah, no, you're right. You did use him, though, right?
I used him a lot because I pulled him at 4 stars, and he's so good at debuffing, but he hits like a wet sponge. So that's the only thing.
Those T units, right? That's kind of been the problem with them. And this is so oddly enough, I'm gonna say this now. Mitsuki actually is gonna do really well in PvP and Abyss. Like that for sure, he's gonna do really well, and he will excel 100%. Orochimaru is kind of my issue. So
he's straight up trash. Like there's no redeeming qualities. He's all over the place.
All over the place. Like if he was debuffing all enemies and was buffing all allies, I would say a complete different story. But the fact that he's like active ally, start of turn, 3-man cells, like yo man,
he's like he is the buffet plate of Shinobis. Everyone he was like somebody was walking around the office with his picture, and they were like a little bit of this, and then they were the next cubicle a little bit of this, and then it just kept going around. It's so crazy.
Agreed, and that's actually a really good way to put it. It's like they walked around with a picture and nobody really looked up to see what the hell they were saying or what the kit was. They were just like, just do this, just like everybody just go on. It's a Orochimaru anyways, right? So
one guy had the phone on his shoulder and just like did the hand movement like get out of here.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was gonna say there's no status effects on Orochimaru, even though he's supposed to be like the guy who applies poison and stuns and stuff.
But to be fair, in that scene, he doesn't really do any status effects. His unit is true to the scene, because that scene is kind of stupid anyways. That whole sequence of Mitsuki finding out who he is cool, but like Orochimaru's part in that scene is kind of lame.
Wait, didn't he stun him like with the snake?
I don't know.
I thought he did. I thought he did stun him through the armor, right?
I rewatched it and he like stunned him using some poison.
Right. And I think that's what you and I were talking about, Classy, because when you were discussing this with me, I was like, oh, he's for sure going to be poison, 100%. I was like, there's no doubt
he's always been a poison unit. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and I mean, like, he doesn't even have a paralyze yet, and we know he can paralyze with the snakes. And so here's the thing, like, I just want to give a quick shout out to Blue, obviously, who finished all of Abyss, the usual king of events.
I saw that too.
It's wild to me that he's able to do that in day 2, actually. But with that being said, he and I were discussing Mitsuki all together, and I said, like I said from the beginning, PvP and Abyss, I think he's going to thrive. That crit rate down is insane, as well as the damage increase rate down. So like it will help you survive in those later stages. So at least Mitsuki has something. But like you said, Noorret, if he was an A unit, I feel like he would be too broken at this point because of how good he is. But we need an A unit stunner.
Yeah, I mean, he does. That's another thing. He has an incredible stun rate too, but he's a T unit. So
I mean, he's got the 35% like everybody else, right? I mean, so like every single target, but nobody's been a target, or no one's been a single target stunner that's a power creep yet. And to have the first one be a T unit, it definitely is a little disappointing. And like I said, I don't know if you guys skipped. I didn't. You obviously know I pulled him, but have both of you skipped, or did both of you try?
I don't want to talk about it.
So that was a shaft.
Yeah. It's okay though. I pulled a B, so don't worry about it. I'm good.
You pulled an old unit that has a stun.
Nice. I'm really happy about that.
He's an A at least.
I'm about to 6-star him from pulling him so much.
They meant to be. Class, did you try or just skip completely?
I pulled like 2,500 just for fun.
Yeah, because I saw your video about why you should or should not summon, right?
Yeah. Honestly, I'm still disappointed in like the character design, like the unit design for the character. Like Mitsuki's pretty good, but the design that they had on them wasn't very good.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, the jutsus, because I've been watching the jutsus a lot because I'm making a video on them. Like, I always do the release one,
right?
And I watch their jutsus a lot, and they're just it's really like lame. Like
plain.
Like yeah, and then like the tribe is cool looking, but it's just like literally a combination of both jutsus into like one image. They're like, hey, let's just combine the images together and they look the same kind of.
And it's again probably walking around the office with a picture.
Yeah.
Like, let's do these together, and they're
okay. See, like Minato was hype because it's Minato.
Mhm.
Six Tails was hype because it's the Six Tails, and it was he's a really good unit. And then this one comes out and it's like everyone's like, oh shit, Sage Mode Mitsuki, it's awesome. And then like his stuff releases and it's like, what? Why'd you do this?
It's odd though that we talk about this. Like, someone made a point on one of my comments, and they said, I think it's really sad that we're always expecting an A unit to come out to be OP now, which is kind of the case. And I think this all stems from one problem that Bandai made, and that is making those training sections, the third section there, a little too OP for A units. If they had created like crit and crit damage for every single section and left counter for, I'm okay with counter for D units, but if they gave T units the same kind of crit rate and crit damage, I think it'd be a whole different story. I think it would be okay to have both. But that training gem section, I think, really screws the pooch on everything.
I think the thing about T units is that there's no identifying factors of T units.
That's
so
kind of
like,
what they are, though. They're the jack of all trades, right?
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. A units are like a good A unit will do a ton of damage and will either be a selfish A unit or it'll buff allies a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
A good D unit is a unit that buffs all allies with defensive abilities and can take hits and stuns, like kind of like Sage Mode Jiraiya, right? But a good T unit just buffs. And there's like what they could have done is like on the T unit page, they could have been like increases effect of buffs, something like that. But they didn't. It's nothing good. It's like it's shit. Like you could just skip that whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. For T units, I feel like they should have brought it into the support direction. Like that's what like the tactical characters usually do in the anime. Like they never go in first. They're kind of like in the back. Like people like Shikamaru and Ino and stuff. So if they like tried to make the T units more in character, that would be nice. And for Mitsuki and Orochimaru, one thing I will say is that their arts are actually really nice. I have a gripe with Mitsuki that when I was looking through his first, second, and fourth skills, they all had the same DIR debuff.
Yeah.
So that doesn't stack, and that just like is really annoying.
Yeah, and I'm finding to see units like that. They're setting up precursors for them. Like if you don't have, for example, like if you don't have your Jitsu right away and you have your skill too, well, that at least you're helping yourself a little bit there before your Jitsu does pop. So it's always like those skills are precursors too, like the trade 4 gives the IR down, but it's if you don't pop your skill 2, at least you have some survivability until your Jitsu pops. So it's always like a preparation to help you survive till your Jitsu is available. But yeah, I agree with you. It's just too much. And that was the thing. I think with the power creep units now, they're all over the place with everything. Like, for example, back in the OG days, Kakashi, Hebi, and all those guys, they didn't do any debuffs. They just straight nuked. It was just all nuking, right? That's what A units did. D units, you're right, had defense up, had DRR up, but now it's like they're debuffers. Like, look at Danzo, right? Like, all he does is debuff practically, and he raises DIR instead of DRR and stuff like that. So, I mean, they're starting to now not follow the mold anymore. I think they've realized that they can't just keep repeating the same kit over and over again.
They're just getting too fancy with themselves. They're trying to get too much uniqueness into units, and by doing that, they're just not having a concrete direction.
Yeah.
Like for instance, like when they make a unit, this is how they do it. They pull a unit, X unit, right? They grab the unit and they say, this is what he does in anime. He does this. And then they take what his jutsu is going to be, and then they decide what buffs they're going to give to him. And then after they do everything, they're like, yeah, and he's going to be a T unit. Yeah. Like they don't decide on the unit until like the very end. It's like Minato's like they were all like hyping each other up around the desk, talking about how awesome he's going to hit. And then the last guy was like, and he's a T unit.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then we're like, yeah.
Yeah,
I
or honestly, they all sit around like a round table. Everybody picks a name out of a hat, and whoever it is, you just get to decide what the hell he does. And I don't know, like I always say, and I always make fun of this. I always feel like the tribe's devs only have like 5 people working in period. Like that's it. That's why they're not expanding to global, because they don't have the staff to do it. I'm convinced the reason why it's not global is because they don't have the staff. I'm almost convinced at this point. So it's gotten to the point where like it is what it is. We take it as we take it. And they're gonna keep screwing units up. So this is why I don't get psyched over units as much anymore. After the whole Minato fiasco, I'm excited when a unit comes out, but I don't think they're going to be the best unit just because they are who they are, right? The name doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah,
so,
basically.
And I've always said this, like, if you give me a stickman with the best kit, I'll use them over anybody. I don't care who the character is. It's just pixels at the end of the day. But if I'm going to be competitive, I care about who brings what to the table.
Yeah, it's like, imagine like Madara and Hashirama come out and they're like both the coolest looking art and the coolest looking jutsus, and then they both do like poison. Like 1,000 poison per turn. It's like, there you go, guys. There's your anti units.
Hashirama as a healer.
Yeah. He's only a healer.
And honestly, like, I wouldn't be surprised. At least they'll keep one thing consistent. Every time we see their jutsus, they'll be hitting a Richimaru, poor guy. All right, guys, so let's talk about the collab here. So first off, I want to thank everybody that showed up to watch. It was a pretty late night. I know a lot of people from Europe and the States and Canada, everywhere around the world were watching. So thank you again for showing up, to all the audience, and to you guys for taking your time out of your busy days to do it. So what did you guys think? Did you guys enjoy? Did you guys have a good time, or something you guys want to do again in the future? Or are we saying this was enough for a whole year? Let's just wait till the next wrap up.
I thought it was cool. It was cool to see, like, it's one of those things when you're all sitting at a cafeteria table in like high school and there's like 20 people in the conversation. That's what it felt like, except like through virtual.
And then somebody puts like mayonnaise on their fries. And like, what the hell are you doing? There's a ketchup right beside you. That's scenario. Yeah. We had some cool, like, we had a lot of people join. We had 20 people on the panel. I think about maybe 8 or so people talked. Right. Yeah. So I kind of feel bad, and I'm thinking of making this a more intimate panel going forward.
It was good. It wasn't bad. It was just, I feel like there was, for instance, since there was so many people, some segments ran short because not everyone got to voice their opinion. That's probably the only thing. But aside from that, it was great. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Well, I really liked it because, especially during a time like this where it's hard to get a social interaction, it's like a nice thing to do for the community. But yeah, I think some people were heard less often, and for people who are like fans of that certain individual, I kind of feel bad for them. So all I have to say is that maybe have specific segments for some more specific people, like what they specialize in.
Yeah, so like scheduling people to talk about. For instance, like, how the Shiny had a segment. Like, for instance, if we're going to talk about, like, let's say events, we have a certain set of people to talk about events, and they're the only ones who talk about it. Kind of like that. Like, so like roles, like you would say.
Yeah, like Blue.
Yeah.
He does that stuff. A segment for PvE events, because he's usually the one who's going really far to the events. So he probably brings a new perspective that other people don't have.
Yeah. So I think, like, when we have like a big event like that, yeah, the only thing we need to do is like maybe like a segmented section, like kind of like Shiny's thing. But aside from that, it was still very informative and stuff. A lot of stuff. It's good to hear from everyone from every other server what their opinions, and it's always good to see that stuff.
For sure. And I think the audience really appreciate it, because I know a lot of them came back and said they love the stream. A lot of them are still like looking forward to watching it, because of the people that missed it, unfortunately, because it is a long stream. And I plan to timestamp going forward on all of the things we talk about. I may have done it actually for this. I don't even know if I did, but yeah, we'll start timestamping, guys. And like you said, people like Blue who want to come in and say a piece. At the same time, though, Blue's been a part of every single one of them, and I think he's kind of like tired of talking about all this stuff. So there are some people also that just are, want to be a part of it, but the day of, it's just exhausting, obviously, because it's a long day, and then you have to do a nighttime event. So we'll try to plan around maybe doing an earlier time. That might also help a lot of people out too, because everyone's on such different time zones, especially European players. Like Rokage, for example, felt so awful about not showing up, but it was like 4 a.m. for him, right? So like I don't expect him to show up if he can't. So no, honestly, like, it was a really good time. I will definitely do more of these. Hopefully by the next time we do one, we'll have something bigger to talk about, right? Some huge event, hopefully.
Yeah, definitely. Like, whenever that happens, I definitely want to still be a part of it. It was a lot of fun.
Anniversary?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I think maybe that's a good time to actually bring that in, right? The new event that I was just referring to. Do you guys have any thoughts on this? Like, anniversary's coming up soon, obviously. Do you guys have any banner ideas? Do you guys have anything you think that Bandai might implement? Like, what are we thinking here?
I'm like super looking forward to Rena 2.0 festival.
Oh my god, me
true.
Yeah. I'm super looking forward to it, because that's definitely gonna happen. Bandai, hint. Rena Festival 2.0, please. I need the money again.
I'm so broke.
It's like I ended the festival with like 150 million Rio, and I'm down to like 24, and I'm struggling.
You're at 24 million?
Yeah, I'm
24,000.
Oh my god.
Yeah, broke, man. Broke as a Joe. It's bad.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah, same for me. I'm running out of Ryo.
Yeah,
As a free to play, it's even worse.
Yeah.
I actually ran out. See, Rio I still have, but like EXP potions, I ran out before the event even ended because that's how much like units I was doing at the same time. So I can't even level up like characters like for like the single levels. I just hit 96 and I couldn't do every single one.
Congrats on 96, by the way. That's I'm actually I think a quarter away from 97, and it's taking forever, man. But I'm also saving all my bento coins specifically for the anniversary because I feel like they're going to introduce a free-to-play unit as well, along with whatever banner. So I don't want to miss out on that, right? Like
I haven't
those units.
Yeah, I also haven't been bentoing at all. Because there's no reason to right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's really good advice, actually.
Yeah, if you guys do buy bento every day and you are still using them, buy them but don't use them, because if there's a crazy event, like let's say like a free unit, if you save your bentos, the amount of stamina you save, you're gonna be able to get so many of the rare items if you save up your bentos starting from now.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, I'm really hoping this time it's not like a fate scroll and talisman. I hope it's something different that we can use towards some of our OG units as well too, because honestly, like we know we're gonna have 2 banners for sure. Like they always release 2 banners with any anniversary that comes out or any big event. So I think personally we're gonna get like a Naruto one and then we'll get a Boruto one to even out the playing field again. Because I think the way it's going now is, at least the pattern I've noticed, is they've done Naruto, then Boruto banner. So it's like 2-2-1. So I think if I'm planning it correctly, I think it's 2-2-1 again, and that's the anniversary for the first Boruto one, and then the second one will be a huge Naruto one. So I think they're gonna save the best for last, and I think we finally will see a Hashirama and Madara banner drop then.
To be honest, I don't think they're gonna appear for the anniversary.
Really?
I think because every single game that they've done, the first anniversary is always it's gonna be young Naruto and young Sasuke in like the Final Valley. I think they always do that for the first one.
See, it's funny you say that because I said that to Minato, like, oh, so it was you that told me that, and I was like, somebody told me that they always do for the Final Valley, and he's like, he's never seen a Final Valley first year anniversary. So is there? Can you elaborate on that? Like where
Blazing had it.
Okay, so he was saying it never happened. So I'm curious. Like that's why I was like, okay, I haven't played Blazing, so I can't talk about it.
First Annie was legitimate because I didn't play. I started in the second year Annie, and the first year Annie was Final Valley, Naruto, and Sasuke. Okay. And those are the units.
Okay, so being as if you're listening to this, there you go. That was my source. I just want to point out who it was.
Yeah.
Like, who was it? I was like, I don't remember. Honestly, so many people talk nowadays, and I can't keep track of everyone. But yeah, there you go. So, I mean, if that's the case, I would kind of be okay with that. I wouldn't mind having that unit.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
It's like Blazing. The way they did it was, whenever they had, let's say, like for instance, like how whenever we get WR releases, they would release each UR as its own individual banner.
Oh, okay.
So and then you could pull, like they say, light and dark side, which one you wanted to pull. So then I thought that was pretty cool. But then they also had the step up. So if you did the light side 9 times and you did the dark side 9 times, you would get both characters guaranteed.
Right.
But if they do that with this game, that would just be double the shaft.
Yeah, oh my god, man. And that's what I'm worried about. It's that whole shafting. And this is the crazy part, right? A lot of people were not saving. They only just recently skipped the banner. Like this is the first skip banner we've had in a very long time. There's not a lot of time between now and the anniversary. I mean, that's like, if you're really saving, you're only saving max maybe 15k, 20k as a free-to-play player. So like, if they come out with OP units, this event better bring a lot of Shino coins for free because people are not going to have any.
I don't think that's a problem, because if you are free to play and you're good about saving your Shinos, they do a very good job about giving Shinos in this game. Like that, I'm not complaining. They give a lot of Shinos like every month. Yeah.
Classy, what are you at for Shinos? Just out of curiosity, because you only did a couple here.
I have like 3,500 left.
3,500?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not a lot.
So not much. And why is that? Because you were pulling for Six Tails?
Yeah, I usually spend all in on characters that are good, and then for characters like Orochimaru, Mitsuki, I just spend a tiny bit just for fun.
Okay.
Yeah, just like to chance it in case you get it.
But you're right about the anniversary thing. Like if you're a new player, you probably got a lot of bentos. Like, well, you should have used them on SR Heavy, but if you didn't, you should save them.
Yeah, definitely. There's no reason to use them right now. Like if you're rushing EXP to level up, it's still not worth it, because it's just not. What are you gonna do? Like once you get to 95, there's really nothing you're gonna unlock. Yeah, that's it. It's over. Like just save it.
Also, I feel like young Sasuke is gonna be better than young Naruto.
Of course. I mean, he beats him. He has to be.
He's gonna stun probably.
I mean, in the story, he beats him and he's like, "Peace out, I'm out." And Naruto's there like in the puddle crying.
I don't see him coming out, man. I don't see that. I don't see that happening. I really don't. And here's the reason why. Tribes has done things so differently than every other Naruto game, especially like we were talking about this, right? Remember like last podcast we talked about the fact that we want Tribes to be the first game that breaks the mold for Boruto and starts introducing characters no other game has. Well, they've done that now. Like they've engaged with Mitsuki, and so I feel like Tribes is not really following a pattern of any other Naruto game. I think they're trying to be unique and different. So this is why I don't see those two characters coming out. If anything, I see those two characters coming out maybe as a 2-year mark, but as a 1-year mark, there's just way too many big units. Like honestly, I will say this: if I saw those 2 units come out as a 1st-year anniversary and not like bigger units like Tobirama, Hashirama, Madara, I would be a little upset. I really would, especially if you're trying to attract new players. They don't care about seeing those little guys. They want to see the big guys show up. You know, they want to see the guys with the bazookas and the giant machetes, not the little pistols. And no offense, like I love Naruto and Sasuke, but I mean we've got 9 versions of them already. Don't add more. Like not yet.
Yeah.
At least.
No, I agree. I mean, I agree. Yeah, it would be disappointing, but right now I don't think Boruto is big enough to attract a crowd on its own. I don't think as an anime, Boruto has gotten even fractionally close to the hype that Naruto was. I don't think so. That's why they're still, relying a lot on Naruto.
Yeah, no, that part I agree with.
I don't know. It would be cool to see them. I wouldn't mind it. We have seen them before, and they would probably be strong. But it would be cool if they did do something else. But you're right about the whole the Sage Mode Mitsuki. Yeah, like remember I spoke about it before. I don't know where I spoke about it, but I said that most games that have said Boruto in it have never introduced characters outside of Sarada, Boruto, and Mitsuki. Like it's been like rare, like to see anything out of that. And then like when I saw Mitsuki in Sage Mode in the armor, I was like, holy shit, they did it. They like I was questioning like this whole time. I was like, there's something with the Boruto license that's preventing people from using these units. So like I feel like they don't have the license or something's up with it. And then like I saw that, I was like, okay, I was wrong. They have it. No,
for sure. They have the license, and I mean the only other 2 characters they ever introduced is Papa Sasuke and Naruto Kage, right? So like,
but they were in the movie, so they were in the movie, so I was like, yeah, they can use them. Like, but they've also been in Voltage. They were already in Voltage, so both of them.
Yeah. Well, and again, if they are going to introduce like bigger Boruto characters as a banner, it would have to be the Momoshiki and villains and stuff like that. Like it has to be someone bigger like that, like the people that people actually want, right? Like Sage Mode Mitsuki was something everybody wanted. I mean, he's out, so they delivered, right? It's not that they delivered what we wanted, but at the end of the day, they did. But that's what I mean about Naruto. Like for the Naruto especially, they have to deliver something that people want, and everyone's been waiting for those 2 characters.
Like my guess for anniversary is we're either gonna get the Final Valley first version of the young versions of them, or we're gonna get Hashirama Madara, or we're gonna get finally Momoshiki and Kinshiki.
And those are my
right. Yeah. I think those either of those 3, like that's it. Like those, it has to be one of them. Like there's no way they don't do, because like it's already in the game. Like the animation for their jutsu is in the game.
Wait, which jutsu?
The big red ball when you summon that you see every time that signals pain.
When they summon
the shafting icon.
The shafting icon. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh right.
Yeah.
See, it's like you don't even know it because you're like, oh, I don't like to think of sad things.
Yeah. No, and you're absolutely right. So they're already there, and to talk on that point exactly, like with the anniversary coming and those big characters popping, we're gonna see an influx of a lot of new players. And the crazy part is, Blazing shuts down in February, right? So a lot of these players jumping on are going to be looking for a home to go to, and it's either going to be Voltage or it's going to be Tribes. And I think Tribes done a fantastic job. But I think come February, especially the beginning of February, we're going to probably see a prelude to the anniversary. So they're probably going to do some event to attract new players from coming in, because they're aware Blazing is shutting down. They all know.
To be honest, I think most people who still play Blazing have already stopped playing, because you can't buy coins anymore. You can't do anything. The game is basically all you do is collect stamina and do missions. But at this point, for what?
Yeah, for what?
There's nothing there. It's empty.
It's an empty shell of what it was exactly. And with that point, with new players coming in, Classy, this is going to be a huge one for you, obviously, because you're doing this a lot in the main court. You're going to have a lot of team building coming up, right, for new players. So like this has kind of been one of my gripes. Like I love new players coming into the game because I think it obviously expands the game. It gives it what it needs. But at the same time, a lot of new players coming in are all focused on team building, right?
You're right.
I just pulled this guy. Build me a team, please.
Right. And it's like, and you're like, you're only 50k power. Why do you even care right now? Like, so, like, how are you guys dealing with that? Because I know you've got the whole team building academy or team building school that you're running with, right? Like, so what's going on with that? Are you seeing a lot of new players coming in asking for team building, or is it mostly like somewhat veterans at this point?
Yeah, so I'm just getting the next generation ready, because usually in the past, each team building generation had like 1 to 3 people, and this time we have like 30, so we should be able to take the new players influx on. Yeah. But yeah, the whole thing started just because of people who wanted to learn, and it was just like a friend group in the beginning, but this is what it become.
I think my thoughts on team building, if you're a new player, right, there's this thing that where you get double EXP until level 51, I believe, right? Until you hit level 51, just do story missions, farm items, and just focus on using, of course, look at the guides on which units are really strong and which aren't, so you don't invest into units that are double D tiered. And you want to look at the tier list to see what units to invest in, but at the same time, don't worry about it until you hit like level 50 or 60, because it's not important until then.
Honestly, I would even argue it's not even important until at that point, even.
Yeah,
to be honest.
But don't make an account and pull like one UR and be like, all right, I need a team and I need it now.
Yeah, so I think, Classy, this is maybe a good time to talk about your guide that you made, right? Like, we worked on a guide. Yeah, a few people did. So shout out to all of you guys that did that together. Are you like I've noticed you are pointing people to it. Are people taking it seriously? Are they reading it?
Yeah, I mean, the thing about like 50% of the newer players that I've seen is that they kind of get overwhelmed by it. Like they don't feel like reading it all. I don't know. It's just like when you're trying to learn something new in anything, it always is difficult in the beginning, but some people just don't want to go through that process.
You know what it is about guides? For a new player guide, it needs to be like one paragraph and like bullet points.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like it's literally impossible.
Yeah, I know, but it's like new players, if like they come into a game, like this is a game that, you could get everything done once you get used to it. You get everything done with like maybe like half hour to 45 minutes, and you're done doing your dailies and stuff. So like if you want a new player thing, it's like it's a complex game once you get really, really into it. So like, for instance, do a TLDR, one paragraph for like basic things, right? And then for advanced players, like you put a notice if you want to know more things, keep reading. You understand?
Funny thing is that we're actually doing that already.
Oh, nice. There you go. Yeah, because like
Static is making like a abridged version.
Yeah, because
so here's the problem, guys, and I hate to put a red flag on this whole situation.
Yeah.
We live in generation now. That's what I call it. I call this generation now. Like
it's true though. Yeah.
If people want things immediately, they want instant gratification. They don't want to work for it. And I'm not. This is not an insult to anybody, shape or form. I'm like that now as an older person as well too, where I'm into that society where my internet's not fast enough, my phone's not fast enough, what I'm doing is not fast enough. I'm not happy about it, right?
You know what's the worst thing in the world? When you Google something and there's no results for it. That's like the worst feeling in the world.
It's like, am I dumb that I Google something, or am I super smart that nobody thought?
Why has nobody solved this yet for me?
That's exactly it. So
go ahead though.
We live in that kind of society. So I feel like no matter how small your guide could be, like one word and it sums up everything. People are like, nah, too many letters, man. Like, tell me how to do this. Like, do this for me. And
yeah,
you know what I mean, Classy? Like, and I this is kind of why I stopped doing team building in that team building channel. Not only because of my own server now, but I'm also like, and that's the beauty of my server, and you can attest to this. Like the members that joined that learned are now teaching, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and it's kind of like they're teaching the right way, as because they were sitting there, they're learning, they're reading. Like, for example, shout out to Slim, who's probably one of the biggest contributors now to my Discord, and he joined, he read all the guides, he actually updated the spreadsheet, which taught him a lot. He looked at all the tier lists and stuff. So people like that will get further in the game because they're absorbing that knowledge and using it wisely. But then there's other people who just want, you know what? And this is the thing with tribes. Like, I never understand this. Like, you want to be really good at tribes, but you're level 50k. You're not going to fight anybody above 50k. You know what I mean? Like, so you're never going to see a whale and be like, oh, I'm going to challenge this whale because I have a best team in the world. It doesn't matter. Like, you got to play and learn, read the kit of the characters and stuff. So to all the new players, this is just straight from me. Like, we all started with nothing. Nobody taught me. Nobody taught I don't know, I'm seeing for YouTube, but nobody taught you guys either, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
My guys were around, but they're not the be all end all of everything, right? So a lot of us had to sit there and actually read the characters. You summon for a character, you really want them. Well, look at the 4 skills. It doesn't take long. It's less than like a paragraph, and just learn the mechanics. Like there are a ton of guides out there. There are a ton of people that have produced those. It's not worth going through team building every 5 minutes because you got a new character.
Yeah.
It's another thing. It's like you have to basically, as a new player, until you start getting like high up in power, the one thing you should do, that the only thing you should focus on is, if you want to win an arena, if that's like your thing, just build a little bit of speed and you'll beat every other new player.
Yep.
Like my
it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, in my free to play account, because during Arena Festival, all I invested my coins in was speed, and I can beat every single other account at my power tier because of my speed.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still placing top 3 with Rs and SRs.
Yeah,
so that's something.
Yeah, because of speed, right?
Oh, sorry?
Because of speed, right?
No, absolutely. Yeah, I'm sitting on 2,000 speed. I'm definitely like the only 2 people that have beaten me so far, because they're semi whale accounts, have been Classy. You're not a whale account. You just have a lot of URs, and I think you boosted speed. And I missed one day of Arena Festival, which sucked. And Grind Senpai, who's also part of my Discord. So he's the other one. He's been sending me snapshots of him beating me, but it's really close all the time. And he's got all URs practically. So like you can just use rares and win. And like Noorret's saying, just get your speed up and learn as the game goes.
Yeah, like you don't have to go crazy on like you could get the most broken characters in the game, have them in a good team, like set up a good team, and you'll still lose to teams that have bigger speed, because that's like the number one thing right now. The game, Arena is all speed and stuns.
Yeah, I mean that's my gripe about this game. Like, it doesn't make team building that important.
Yeah, So like when you need to know a team comp like this, it's fun. Like, you know, just read up on the units, because like then you'll learn about how much Mitsuki and Orochimaru are letdowns.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that was the crazy part. Like my live feed, I had, you know, every time people join in late, obviously it happens.
Yeah,
it's part of it, how live feeds work. And I think the number one question every time somebody joined is, how good is Mitsuki and how good are Orochimaru? And I'm just like, well, I've answered this 100 times already. So when it kind of gets, it's like team building over again. It's like you're answering the same question over and over, and you're like, my gosh. But like I understand, like I get it from a new player's perspective. You wanna start off on the right foot. But I've said this, and I will continue saying it, and this is my model for this game. This game is not a sprint, it's a marathon. So learn to understand your units, because if you don't, you're never going to get anywhere in this game, no matter how many people teach you.
You know what it is too? Like, even now, like, for instance, like, look, everyone has never used Sugetsu and...
what? I use Sugetsu.
Yeah, I mean, but, like, rare. It's rare. Like, how many times you go into Arena and you catch Sugetsu and, what's the other guy? The
Jugo.
I forgot. Yeah, Jugo, the useless hard boy, the guy who gets hard. Basically, that's his ability. I get hard.
So wrong. I don't even know how to... Can't even explain that. Like, how do you think your kids? Yeah, ignore that. He doesn't mean it like that.
First off, he gets hard as in his skin.
Okay.
You're the one taking it to
hard of two.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, anatomy as well. So let's just
that. Yeah. So nobody runs those units, but look at Blue now. Blue beat Arena. Abyss, and I'm telling you, everyone is like, how am I gonna afford to bring these 2 units up, because I gotta use them now?
So here's the here's the funny thing about that. So shout out to Blue for doing that, number one. Secondly, if you guys watched my first summon video, I had Jugo Sugetsu at 7 stars when they first came out with Kirin at 5. So I loved Commander Heavy, but at that time there was no need for tribes. Like, it was just go up all the way. The events didn't exist, right? So that's a prime example of understanding what you're going up against, right? Everyone wants to nuke the crap out of everything, but nobody wants to play defense. And I remember this conversation I had with somebody, and I don't remember who it was, but it was a massive slap to my face, because I was talking about how Blossom is great for healing and DRR up, and somebody was like, why do you need heals and why do you need defense? You just nuke everything in Abyss. I'm just like,
oh my God.
I'm like, are we playing the same game? Like, I legit was lost when somebody said that. And this is back when Abyss was the OG Abyss, and only myself, Blue, and Joel were finishing it. So I was like confused about people saying this. So there's that misconception that you don't need to understand the strategy of the opponent. Like, this game is built, like, as much as we make fun of the developers, they do know what they're doing when they create events in terms of difficulty. They've probably tested a strategy that works, and they're like, people have to figure out this exact strategy or you're SOL.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think they make something hard for the sake of being hard. I think they know that there is a way to beat it, but you're gonna have to figure it out.
Exactly.
Like they're not. Yeah, you're gonna have to figure it out.
Exactly. So like in that case, like new players, like honestly, just like read your skills. Like it's one thing to read skills and understand them, and it's another to be like, okay, well, I don't understand how to put them together. That's a whole different story. Team building can be done to help you with that. But again, there's guides, there's videos, there's a ton of things out there. And I know like a lot of the mods in Discord are like, well, no, hold on, don't discourage players to come here and talk to us about it. But we're not discouraging new players to do that. We're discouraging new players to keep coming back every single time, right? So
yeah,
that's kind of my gripe with it. Anyways, it is what it is.
How do you guys feel in 4 days we're gonna get that next manga chapter for Boruto?
Oh, I didn't even remember that.
Yeah, 4 days. 4 days until we get to know. Oh, spoiler warning! You have 3 seconds from this moment on for the manga. We're gonna talk about it. So cue whatever stupid thing I put in the sound here.
I think we're gonna have a lot of pissed off people.
I think so too.
And I mean,
Sasuke Sims are going to riot.
That's what I mean. I think a lot of Sasuke fans are gonna lose their minds. And the crazy thing about this whole chapter is the fact that I think they've been planning this for a while to finally finish him off. And I don't think fans are gonna be happy. So
how many body parts until he becomes useless? How many more body parts must he lose?
Well,
I mean, he already lost his chakra too.
Yeah, he's been pretty much a walking one-armed man. Like he's pretty much a villager. That's those extra characters. He's just a cool looking character. But
wait, how did he lose his chakra again?
I think somebody absorbed it, didn't they?
Oh, I don't know. He just had less chakra in the anime.
Yeah.
They just nerfed him. It's like a shadow.
He wasn't. Yeah. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, because he wasn't unstoppable like he has always been. He's just like
no explanation.
Well, you know what? It's because I think the explanation that you could use is that the Rinnegan wasn't supposed to have the Rinnegan. So when he uses it, it does take a big toll in his body. So they only nerf him when he uses the teleporting thing. So like he uses it once and he's like, I'm weak.
Yeah.
yeah. So I think that's like the explanation. That's it.
Yeah, and I mean like we alluded to this like in the last one where he's just been using his eye abilities way too freaking often. And it's not unlimited, like Itachi told him, the more and more you use this, right, the more it gets to you. But Itachi didn't know the extent of how far this can go, obviously, right? Now Sasuke got his eyes implemented. We thought he's good forever, and like Classy said, he was so damn OP in Naruto that when he came to Boruto, he just wasn't himself anymore. And I think that has to be attributed to his eye abilities. But here's where it's going to become a problem. Everybody thought that Naruto was going to die because of the whole fusion thing, right? So if they kill off Sasuke, leave Naruto alive, there's going to be an uproar from the Sasuke fans, and the Naruto fans are going to be like, told you Naruto was better all along. Like, it's going to be a weird transition, and I think Boruto's probably, like, I think it was yourself, Noorret, or that said it, maybe it was Classy, but I think Boruto's going to be so mad about what he did to Sasuke that...
We're not expecting that it's actually going to be Boruto who's destroying the village and it's Kawaki who's defending it. I think that was Classy. Classy said that.
Yeah, Classy. Oh yeah, that was one of your theories, right, Classy?
Yeah, that was my long-winded theory.
Yeah, but it's actually cool. Like I like that better. Yeah. When you told me that, I was like, I didn't even think of that. Like that was never a possibility in my mind.
Yeah, it was a great idea. That's for sure.
Yeah, but like seeing how this one ended, it makes sense now because he's But I don't think they're gonna kill him. I think they're just gonna be like a Might Guy. They're just gonna be like retired and useless.
Oh, yeah. See, the thing about Might Guy was that I feel like his scene would have been more powerful if he actually died.
Yeah, I don't. He's a comedic character now. Like that's it. He's a joke. So like every time you see him, he's walking on his hands, and it's like laugh. He walks on his hands now.
Yeah,
like that's it. Yeah, so like he actually
so sad.
Yeah,
to see that, man.
He's basically the jester now.
Exactly.
Might Guy went from being like the guy who like screwed over Madara like big time and like he like tried to sacrifice himself and they were like, no, you're not dead. You're the jester now, buddy.
Yeah. It's so sad how the mighty have fallen, and and I think this is kind of where my gripe is with Boruto. Like I understand the whole logic of the new generation has to be superior. I get that, but there are certain characters where I'm okay with the old generation being superior still. You know what I mean? Like Might Guy, but again, he opened up so many gates in his life. He's kind of like the Sasuke situation where he really shouldn't be alive anymore.
Yeah. The amount of bones he's broken.
Absolutely. Like the amount of chakra he's used, he's probably like ripped apart so many different parts. Like, yeah, I mean, he's another Sasuke character which should have died as well too. And you know, but then that goes with Kakashi and everyone else too, who's just still OP as hell. And you're like, how? But you know, I mean, I think we'll see a lot of pissed off people on January 20th. If they keep Sasuke alive even, and he's just a former shell of who he is, what's the point? I'd rather him die and make an impact in the show than stay alive and be a useless character.
I have to go relook at the manga. I want to know, is Sarada isn't there, right? It's just Sarada's not there.
No,
it's
she's
just
not
Boruto.
She's not
Okay, good.
She's not there.
Because I wanted to see like they could, because if she's not there, then my theory with her, she's gonna get his Sasuke's one eye.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's I feel like that's how she gets her Mangekyo. But yeah.
So she's gonna get a Mangekyo and then replace the other eye. So she'll have
one eternal Mangekyo.
Yeah, but we can just say she can also open it up when she hears her father dying.
Yeah, I know, but then she'll lose her sight. She'll go blind. Remember, you can unlock the Mangekyo, but you'll lose your sight if you don't get the eternal.
Yeah. We'll see what happens with that. I'm curious to see. Like, she's obviously a big character in the show. One I don't think they focus enough on lately, because everything's about Kawaki and Boruto right now. But yeah, I'm curious to see what happens. I feel like she's going to play a bigger part, and this is kind of why they have to kill off these characters. Like, they've got to make room for their offspring to kind of take over.
And also Naruto needs to be like super weakened.
I don't think Naruto dies.
No,
I really don't.
Of course.
I don't think he dies because who would they put as Hokage? Would they just put what?
Shikamaru.
Yeah, that could happen, but I
They
really
won't kill off Naruto, and I'll tell you,
they won't kill him off. They're not going to kill
90%
him
of the
off.
audience that watches that show will leave.
Yeah. Like Sasuke, I know they could take him, and they'll still be mad about it. But Naruto's still there, you know. But I don't think they're gonna kill off Naruto. Naruto will die, but maybe at the end of Boruto or like in the mid of the whole show, he'll die. Like
I'm not sure. I think he'll lose his powers, or at least the most important.
No, yeah,
part.
he'll lose his powers, but they'll still kill him off in some way because I feel like they have to affect Boruto in like another way by seeing his father.
Yeah.
Like him and his after the great thing about Naruto, if he does lose his powers, is that he'll become the father that they want him to be. You understand? Like he won't be able to defend the village anymore, and he'll be able to be the father that they want him to be.
And funny you say that. I was literally thinking the same thing about Sasuke. He'll actually be there as a father if he dies. So that could be another reason why Sasuke loses everything. Maybe he just finally becomes a husband and a wife and a father that he needs to be, rather than a shinobi this whole time, right? So I think the flip side, I think Sasuke, if anyone, needs to be humbled and become that father figure to his daughter, and there for Sakura especially. And speaking of Sakura, like I can only imagine how much she's gonna lose her mind if this happens. Like,
I don't know. Like, see, like that, like what you're saying right now. I'm opening up so many vines of possibilities. Like, for instance, like think of this: Sasuke dies, the Uchiha curse. Sarada goes mad, right?
mm-hmm.
She could suffer that curse down to her. Sasuke doesn't die. He becomes the new Might guy, the town jester, just being a funny guy. So like,
that'd be
like
awful.
see. Yeah, it would, but like
That's worse.
Yeah, so like, there's so many possibilities of what could happen. That it's like watch them pull out something that none of us expected.
Probably.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We'll find out, I guess, January 20th.
Yeah.
Very excited to see what happens. I think we'll see a lot of surprises as well as good things, but we'll also see some sad things. I think it's about time they get rid of the jester, as you're calling him right now. But Sasuke's been such a cool character all along. He's got so many fans, and I think he deserves a good way out. So I hope if they do kill him, it's some sort of heroic way where he saves Boruto and finally kills off somebody else,
or gives him his chakra to like.
I think he will.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Something like he's already been pretty heroic in the previous episode, right? By doing the teleporting and saving Kawaki, and he's done a lot of heroic things. But that final moment has to be like, yo, like Sasuke deserves to go this way, kind of thing.
And we finally get to find out if Jigen is actually dead.
Right.
Like, it's like he's done. Like he's out. Like that's it. He's just
like
the main antagonist of the whole show that we thought was like the main thing is gone.
Oh no! Are they gonna pull a Black Zetsu?
Well, they may.
I mean, they have Momoshiki still. So.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. So, and that's what I was saying last time. I'm not even sure if he's actually gone. So I'll be surprised, to be honest with you, if he's gone. But we'll have to see what happens. Master Level 2, guys. I just want to bring this up because I'm playing it right now as we're talking here, and I'm getting rocked because I was stupid enough to help the opponent get their tribe gauge up, and I can't get out of it now. What do you guys think? Needed? fresh, or should we just got new events? Honestly, I just wish we got new events. Like, I love the challenge, don't get me wrong. Like with FG, I was getting 76%. With this Abyss now, I'm trying to get to stage 40 and finish it off. But I'd rather have new events. I don't know how you guys feel about this. I personally don't care about these extra difficulties.
The Abyss, I think it's cool. I think it's cool that they added it new floors, because I expected it. It was like, I knew that Abyss new floors are going to be unlocked. But yeah, we need some new events, because like eventually, you're going to get burnt out. Everyone's going to suffer burnout. Like, how many times can you skip the same mission? How many times can you do the same event every 2 weeks? Like they're definitely going to have to like mix in more stuff. Like they did it with raids. Like they added more units, and they added more URs to joint missions as well. But they definitely need to add more variety, because people are going to start burning out.
Yeah, and that's the thing with the Abyss. Like, as much as I love having the challenge, and FG is great for that, it's a quick challenge. Going 40 floors in Abyss in one day for me is impossible. I don't have the time to do it, right? So, so that's kind of where my gripe was with that whole situation of adding more floors to Abyss. Although the challenge is fun and it's opening up a brand new level of difficulties in team building, it also takes a lot of your time away that you would normally spend doing other things. So, love the challenge. Don't get me wrong. I just think I wish it was, put towards another event where it was in tandem, where we could actually enjoy it and be excited about it.
I think it'll come. I think hopefully they have they had like an event of release schedule for the mid anniversary, right? They had like 6 different events, or like they announced things in like tiers. So hopefully they have that for the Annie. They have to, because if they did so much for the mid Annie, they have to have something crazy for the Annie.
You'd hope.
So like,
they have to top it.
They have to top it, because if you can't go hard on the mid Annie, and then when the Annie comes, you're like, okay.
Well, actually, they have to top the Rene Festival, because that wasn't even mid Annie. That was just the New Year's holiday.
I mean, they know how much people liked it. There's no way they don't know how much people enjoyed it. Like, it was like a blessing that everyone was like just happy. It was like the time everyone was just happy with the game. They were like, money, EXP potions, like, it's great.
That was like when you hit the lottery the first time in your life, and you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna get a couple yachts. And then you realize that's a temporary solution to happiness, and you're like, oh my god, I everything away now. I don't have any of my yachts anymore. That's how I feel like. I feel like they just gave us everything, and we're like, here guys, party time,
Yeah.
And then,
but only for a month.
Go home. And you're like, oh my god, same old cracker that I've been having for 9 months or 10 months now. It's back.
Ooh, but I also want new PvE events, like, because they allow for us to explore more things as a community. Like, I know for B40, Blue's using like a new tribe that nobody was using before, like the Suigetsu one, like we talked about earlier. So if they added new events,
he has been. Blue's been using that for every Abyss. He's just
right.
Yeah, the only thing is he's never really announced it because he's not part of main court anymore. Yeah, he's been using that tribe since like I think 3 Abysses ago. He calls it the 3 versus 9, where he just brings units to help buff that tribe, and then he just destroys everybody. So he's been he's been doing it for a while.
The guard rate is nuts.
Oh, it's insane. It's insane.
Yeah. I saw what he did, and I was like, geez, this guard rate is pretty crazy.
Yeah, and again, that's kind of the point of me saying this. Like, us veteran players we've been using these things in PvE for a while. Like, I've been using tries in PvE for a while. I've been using co-op in PvE, but again, it's understanding who your opponents are. Blue's on a whole different level. Like, he studies his characters, and he builds characters based on that. Like, we were just talking about it, and I think we're both going to focus on pure healers at this point for Abyss, so we can one day it and just build on the one or two tribes, right? So I urge people, man, like, think outside the box, right? Like, the game evolves, you got to evolve with it.
Definitely, yeah. Do you guys? I wanted to talk about the collab, to shout out to the people who helped out, because I know it was a big event with 20 people. So I know, Payne, I know you did a lot for setup and stuff. You were like setting up all day and stuff. So I know, shout out for setting that up for the community and stuff. I know it was tough and it takes time. Like, making a 1 minute and 40-second video for me takes forever. I can't imagine what it takes to get 20 people to show up to an event.
Yeah,
and all the
it was a lot of work. And honestly, I will be honest with you guys. Like, I couldn't have done it without Karma, who helped do a lot of the production, and MRN, who helped with thumbnails, and it was a lot of work. And a lot of those people deserve recognition for it, because it's not like people aren't doing this out of selfish reasons. They're doing this for the community because they want people to enjoy their time with tribes. So absolutely, Noorret, you're absolutely right. So thank you for that recognition, and I want to recognize those people as well too.
Also, Autumn, thanks for the questions and doing the moderation of the questions. That was great. I know it's tough, and I know you were a little shy, but thanks for doing that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Big time thanks for that.
What do you guys have in the coming week as of YouTube? What do you got in the works? You got
honestly, I'm not very sure right now.
I was about to say you don't have a underrated. Yeah. I was gonna say overrated. The underrated unit's coming out 3, episode
Probably.
3. Yeah. A pain. What about? I know you got like 18 videos in the works.
Yeah, I got a lot going on. So I just released the all A unit team. So I did a poll essentially saying like, what do you guys want to see, right, as a community? I put in Uchiha versus Uzumaki / Namikaze. I did all Sharingan team versus all type team, and everybody was unanimous almost. Everybody chose they wanted to see an all type team. So I created my first all A video that's already out. I'm about to do T video tomorrow and then D following. And then I'm actually doing the biggest solo project I've ever done for tribes, and that is maxing out awakening every single tribe out there. All stars. So that's going to be, now this is not for the faint of heart, guys. When I do the video, I'll show you guys how many fragments you need for each character. It is obscene, the amount of fragments you need for each character, right? So I've maxed out, I think, 7 so far. So that should tell you how many frags I have for most of these characters, but I'm running low now for the first time ever. So that's going to be my big project, and the goal of that is I want to max everything out and then start working on the 3-man tribes and enhancing them completely, and then start showcasing them in PvE and PvP and seeing how much damage you can pull off with them. So the purpose of this obviously is to help the community understand what tribes are the best out there, plus what can be used where, and if some tribes are, astonishingly good compared to what they look like on paper, because that's what we've noticed, right? Connected Feelings came out, and I promise you, nobody looked at that tribe except for Jakamoko and Sephia, because it only affected that 3-man cell. So everyone's like, well, Papa Sasuke sucks. Sarada UR is not that good, and Mama Sasuke is like, whatever, she doesn't hit hard. So nobody thought that we would be doing 90 million damage in ATB, but here we are. So I'm hoping by having this available, this is not just for me to do testing, by the way. I'm opening this up to all testers. If you need me to test for you, give me the circumstances and I will test on your behalf, and I will give you the shout out for coming up with the strat. I always do. I give credit where it's due. So that's another video showcase for obviously for Mitsuki's coming up, and we'll be doing a Orochimaru one, but I'm not doing it myself. I'm going to reach out to the community. So anybody that's listening to this, if you have an Orochimaru you're working on and you want to share, I will give you the credit, obviously, and I'll make the showcase on your behalf.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's like what I do because I have bad luck.
Yeah, I can't say that I have Mitsuki in this next video coming out because I didn't get him. So I'll draw like a stick figure and make believe that I got him or something.
If you need him, I'll send him to you. Whatever you need, let me know.
I'm just gonna like. Nah. That'll be like I'll make that funny somehow. I'll think of something. Yeah, probably tomorrow because I have to do other stuff. But that'll probably come out for me tomorrow sometime.
I have to say, your tribe's channel is probably one of the most refreshing channels out there. So thank you for the comedy, and I actually for the first time watched your meme one. I didn't even know it existed until
the meme. Oh yeah. No, because I had to upload that thing 3 goddamn times.
Yeah, I know.
The amount of strikes. The first one, not a lot of people know this. A couple of people saw it because I had like 60 something views before I got taken down for content. It got flagged for violence because there's this one scene where I know people have seen it on the main cord. It's this guy. It shows the scene where Itachi, I believe, does Amaterasu for the first time. And he says Amaterasu, and then there's this one guy who I guess he was messing with lighter fluid or something, and he lights himself on fire, but then he runs into a lake, and he extinguishes the flame. But it's funny as hell because you don't expect the guy to light himself on fire and run into it's hysterical. And it had in the video it had the most laughs that we gave it, but I had to cut that whole segment out.
Oh yeah, because
it was for violence.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna dispute it. The guy probably got a little burned, a little char, but he went right into the lake. But what am I gonna do? Yeah, that video, because that's my longest video to date. I think it's like 14 minutes. I had to upload it 3 times, and I had to like take music out, put like piano music in and stuff. So like they do flag stuff, but it's fun though. It's fun. I'm still saving memes. I like check every day. I check your Discord, Payne. I check the main core Discord. I check online if I find anything Naruto related or something that's just hysterical.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people aren't gonna like to hear this, but I'm sick and tired of the drip Goku meme. I can't stand it.
Yeah,
I can't stand it. It was funny the first time. I hate it.
Where did that even
I was
come
gonna say,
from?
because I'm an old man. I don't know where this came from. So can you give me some history on what this is?
So basically, it's like, okay, you know how there's like the hype beast culture where like people like buy expensive clothing and they like collabs, like let's say North Face and like Louis Vuitton and stuff like that. So basically, the scene is when Bulma gives Goku the training, the weighted vest and stuff for the hyperbolic time chamber,
Okay.
and she opens the capsule and gives him it. But the edit makes them be dressed in like a Louis Vuitton, like Gucci clothing, that like really expensive clothing, and they're like dripped out. They're dripped out,
Yeah.
so like they look really like nice. But like that went from that, which was funny because I was like, oh, that's kind of dumb, but okay, I laughed. But then that went from just like, hey, let's edit Goku into these random scenes where he's just standing there dripped out for no reason. That's it. There's no like comedic like timing. It's just he just appears in the scene and that's it.
Yeah, and they're also starting to drip out like a bunch of other characters.
Yeah, I saw
everybody.
I saw Eren from Attack on Titan today being dripped out. He was just sitting in a chair dripped out.
That sounds so wrong.
It's all over the main court.
Yeah, it's mostly on the main card. Like it's crazy. It's all drip right now.
Drip, drip, drip. Yeah, when I saw that, everybody kept like in my comments when I did my face reveal, everyone was like, "Got drip," and I literally had to go to my wife and be like, "Yo, I'm so freaking old. Can somebody explain to me?" Like, I didn't want to sound embarrassed. Like, what is drip? She's like,
what is a drip?
Like, I don't know. I'm 31. I have no idea what the hell drip is. So, like, yo, I gotta start like looking at like dictionaries and stuff like Ebonics, trying to figure out what people are talking about because it's getting out of control with slang.
Yeah, guys, when you leave comments on Payne's video, if you use a new like slang, like for instance, like I know Payne, do you know what cap
Straight
is?
up, I don't.
Okay, so if you're gonna be like no cap, you have to leave like a little definition for Payne at the bottom. Be like, in this terminology, cap means it is a lie.
Okay. Well, I kind of figured that because I see it all the time, right? Because someone it's good, no cap, and I'm like, okay, that means no lie. So like, here's the thing. Like back in my day, I was a hip dude. Like back in my day, people thought I was cool. Nowadays, I can't talk like the slang anymore. Like, yo, drip to me was swag. Like, that is my terminology of what drip is. So like,
swag, fresh, looking fresh,
fly. You know, like I'm an old dude, man. Leave me the hell alone. But when I hear this kind of stuff, and I'm like, yo, I'm so out of touch with everybody. So I mean, like, I'll play the whole like I'm a nice guy, so I'll be that nice guy. But when you guys are talking like slang to me, and it's a compliment, half the time, guys, I don't know if you're complimenting me or dissing me. I'm going to someone younger to find out. Like, so,
it goes right over.
Yeah, straight up. Like, I don't know, man. Half the time, like, so I mean, thank you for all the amazing compliments, obviously. But yeah, man, half the time I don't know.
Bookmark Urban Dictionary.
Yeah, that's what I use too. But like, don't go too deep in there because you'll find stuff you don't want to know. Yeah. Don't look up stuff like docking and don't look that up. I'm shy.
I don't even want to know.
No, don't look it up. I know people who do know what that is are like, I can't believe you just shouted out docking. But don't look up stuff on the Urban Dictionary. There's some crazy stuff.
All right, thank you. Duly noted. I will avoid looking at docking and anything else. Thing like, don't get me wrong. When I was growing up, I had slang that my elders were all like, "Yo, like what is it? What are you?"
It happens. Like,
it's life, right? Like people grow and it just happens. But like you have to understand, like I may look like I may sound young and shit, but like excuse my language, but I'm not. So like. Yeah. And I ain't got no time to go look at damn Urban Dictionary. I barely got time to go to read my own friggin' blogs half the time that I write. So man, no, I like no time. But thank you anyways, guys. Like I appreciate the compliments. And yes, if you, as Noorret said, next time you write a slang, beside I put definition and put it on there for me. So I'll know what I'm talking about. I'll teach you tribes. You teach me slang. I think it's a good trade-off.
Yeah, that's a good trade-off. Content for slang.
Exactly. It's how low I'm getting now at this point.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I just want to say thank you guys, whoever subscribed to me. I really appreciate you guys. I know whoever's dropping likes and stuff. I really appreciate it. It's tough, but it's fun. It's like whenever I get these stupid ideas, I really appreciate it. And I know you guys feel the same for your subscribers as well.
And I mean, for me personally, guys, like this is huge because I'm gonna be hitting 5K eventually, and it's going pretty fast already, right? And I think I have more subscribers now than Discord has members.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
so
you've been growing like crazy.
Yeah,
like the other day you announced 4K and I'm like, he's at 4.22 already.
It was only 5 days ago. Like a lot of these people spend their time, and I'm saying this to everybody in general, like if you leave me a comment, I will give you a comment back because your time is just as valuable as mine. I don't see myself above anybody. I am part of this community. I started in this community, right? So like there's no reason for you guys to ever feel intimidated. And a lot of my members who joined my membership were always like, they shake to talk to me. Like it's a unique and a weird situation for me to be in, where people are like, "Yo, like we're kind of like starstruck," and I'm like, I'm a nobody. At the end of the day, I'm just a guy making content, right? That's how I see myself. So
we're just chilling here playing phone games,
Yes, I may have more knowledge, and yes, I have more experience, and yes, I will a lot, and I give you guys content to help you guys out, but that's just because I enjoy doing it. It's not like I expect this back. So the fact that you guys give it to me means 1,000 times more. So thank you so much. And as Noorret said, same sentiment. Without you guys would be nothing. So appreciate it.
We're just like you guys. We put our pant legs one at a time, except when we do put them on, we make content.
Yeah, mine has money coming out of it personally. That's
yeah.
Sorry, Classy, we interrupted you. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say the same for me. I'm just doing this for fun on the side.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's just this like the podcast is like I enjoy it a lot. I look forward to it when we record. I look forward to the collaboration events. I look forward to when banners come out, and I know Payne is gonna have that video, like 10 seconds after the leak is out.
The crazy part about it is, someone said it today. They were like, or no, a couple days ago, they were like, "Wow, that was underwhelming" for my Mitsuki video, right? My summer video, and I wrote literally was it underwhelming because I didn't have to spend a fortune? The guy was like, "Well, no, the banner, but yes, that too." And I'm like, "Wow, like there's an expectation for me to spend a lot of money now." I gotta curb that expectation, people.
Yeah, I mean, he get those YouTuber rates.
No, man,
and I know.
Let's just be honest. I've got lucky the last 2-3 times, maybe. If you don't remember, my Obito cost 65K, so I'm reeling still from that a little bit.
Yeah, no, I wanted to get Mitsuki because I know I'm gonna regret it when he links with someone, but he's not worth it. I pulled a bunch for him. It was all blur. I don't know how many times I multi for him, but it's not worth it. In the end, I'm not gonna go that crazy for him. If whatever, I'll be sad later. Like, quote me, I'll be sad later when he's linked to like somebody crazy.
That's the promise. Promises, right? It's always what gets you. So,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Hopefully,
remove them.
Hopefully, I think that. I didn't get to mention this in the collab because like 40 other people talked about it, but I think that they're gonna do a better job of the Shinobi Exchange by releasing these URs because I think they have been doing that. So hopefully they do a better job of that.
Absolutely, I agree with you. I think they will continue doing a better job with that as it gets as we get more and more into the newer characters. We'll start seeing the older characters pop up. That's why I keep saying, like, a lot of people don't realize how important those coins are. Like, they're more rare than Shino coins because you can't get them until a new banner comes out, right? So like, hold on to those because they will do you a lot when the time comes.
Yeah, if you used it on like SR Naruto, shame on you.
Yeah,
exactly.
Save those coins. Save those coins.
Exactly.
Save those coins. And even like, you should never, ever, like, unless it's for a link, use a UR from 1 star and use your frags to level him up.
Yeah.
I've seen so many people do that.
It's such a waste.
It's such a waste. It's such a you do events, you'll get there eventually. You get a couple UR fragments from that, and you're done.
Yeah, like it's such a waste because you're wasting so many frags, and it's crazy. It's tough. I know it's tough because the rates suck, and in your head you're thinking that, oh, I had to, that's the only way I would have got that character, but it's so hard to watch that.
It's brutal. It hurts my heart knowing people are doing that still. So I totally agree. Without that, guys, I know we're kind of over the time here. We are doing a live event next week. Am I correct?
Yeah, we have the live podcast is next week.
And a collab with somebody.
The collab, I think, is the following. Yeah, we're doing it.
So we have a guest for not the next podcast. Next podcast is live, and then so 2 podcasts from this one, we have a special guest. Yeah, we're not announcing it yet, but we have a special guest.
Yeah, and just a quick shout out though to all the community. for listening to our live one so far. Thank you so much for like loving the podcast in general. I'm seeing a lot of positive feedback. Views are views, but at the end of the day, the feedback we're getting has all been great. So thank you again, guys, for listening. And
do you guys want to predict the next banner?
Oh, right. That's our thing. I forgot. That's our thing.
Yes, next banner.
You guys can start. I have to think.
I'm gonna go with Payne and brand new Conan. Oh no, take that back. I'm gonna go with Mitsukage and Oniki, whatever the old man is.
Oh yeah,
the big nose.
Big nose dude. That's what everybody knows him as. Mr. Potato Head. Yeah, I'm gonna go with those two.
Back pain cranky guy.
Yeah, exactly.
How many more old people tropes could they stick in?
Yeah,
him?
exactly. So those are my two guesses, just because we're still in that Kage Summit era right now.
I think it's time to go back to Naruto.
100%. Yeah, they're going back.
I think maybe Taka Sasuke or Mangekyo Sharingan Sasuke, something like that.
Another Sasuke, huh? Interesting. Okay.
I mean, they need money. Come on.
Yeah,
he sells.
It's true.
It's from the same like episode part as the one you just said.
Yeah, that's when he attacks the summit, right? Yeah, that's
maybe all three of them.
To be honest, I don't know. I'm trying to think of who would come out next, because they literally, I mean, I do think you guys are pretty close as to what I would guess, but if anything, something you guys haven't said, I don't think it's going to be Pain. I think it's going to be Nagato, and he's going to be like the ultimate T unit to rule all the other T units with buffs. Because Nagato, he's in a machine. He's in like a wheelchair already. So, he can't do anything, so he'll just buff.
Can I say this actually? So sorry, Classy. You guys are aware, I've said this on my Discord, that I was making a prediction video before the Mitsuki one dropped, right? So in that prediction video, I've still saved that. I'm still gonna release it when it's time. But I said Pain or Nagato, and my guess was Nagato will be in that exact wheelchair you're talking about, but his attacks will be summoning the different pains, and his jutsus will be summoning the different pains. That'd be cool, right? So I thought that would be an awesome concept to have. So I'm really hoping if they do release it, it's something like that.
And hopefully that's like the end of the T unit era that Bandai is going in right now. Hopefully, like they need. Okay, to be honest, before this whole T hard-on happened, I know that I'm going over something but I have to talk about it. It pisses me off. There was like 4 T units in the whole game before this whole like craze that happened, but now they need to do the same to T units, because there's like no D units besides Gaara, Sage Mode, Jiraiya, and Sasori Puppet.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, you mean good D units?
Yeah, like units that have a crazy impact like those 3 that I mentioned.
Yeah, you're right. We do need some higher tier ones.
Yeah,
like power creep D units.
Because right now everyone's comp is A and T.
And we know Orochimaru is not going to cut it, sadly.
Cut it. He's not even in the conversation. I'm sad you brought him up. All right. Well, anyways, yeah, we should end it because we're going to keep going. All right. Bye, guys.
All right, guys. Have a good one, everybody. Take care.